Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, AI Unleashed, the next frontier of cloud security. Presenting today's topic, Ronald Clanton. Ronald is a cybersecurity consultant and trainer with extensive experience in delivering training and guidance across ethical hacking, penetration testing, and AI-driven cyber defense. Through his firm, U.S. Computer Support, he provides practical hands-on learning to help professionals strengthen their security posture and stay ahead of emerging cyber threats. With extensive experience in high-stakes tech environments, Ronald helps organizations build resilient defense systems and trains IT professionals to tackle emerging AI-driven cybersecurity threats. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. Artificial intelligence is rapidly becoming the core engine behind modern cloud defense, empowering organizations to make smarter decisions, strengthen security, and accelerate innovation on AWS. In this masterclass, we'll learn how AI-driven threat intelligence, automated response, and real-time analytics are reshaping cloud security in 2025 and 26. Now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handouts section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Ronald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tracy. Masterclass AI Unleashed, the next frontier of cloud security. My name is Ronald Clanton. I'm a senior technical trainer with Netcom Learning. I have an AI ethical hacker. I'm a cloud admin professional. I've been doing this for about a decade, consulting and teaching. I thank you for joining us. Let's get started. AI Unleashed, the next frontier of cloud security, how AI is revolutionizing modern cloud security architectures. This is one of the things that you will learn with this webinar. Key AI driven tools and techniques to predict and prevent cyber threats, real world examples of AI in action with AWS, Azure, and multi cloud environments. How to automate threat detection and incident response using machine learning models, and best practices for integrating AI into your existing cloud system ecosystem. So sit back. We have a lot to go through. Some of the terms you may not be familiar with, but by joining the Netcom Learning and receiving the training, your organization will thrive and be a part of what is now our everyday model that's used for businesses. The benefits that you'll gain from this webinar are actionable insights about cloud security and from AI experts that are put together to help you in a more generalized versions because every business is different. You'll learn how to future proof your organization's security posture, discover cutting edge AI tools with that enhance speed, accuracy, and visibility. You need to be able to see everything that's going on with your business. Receive practical strategies to reduce risk and operational overhead, and stay ahead in the rapidly evolving world of cloud and cybersecurity. That is the foundation of business now. Keeping an eye, making sure that you have everything that's available, whether it's a hybrid cloud, your private cloud that works there, or you are fully vested into the cloud infrastructure itself. Security is now more than ever a dire need. A business will sink or swim by security, by cybersecurity, and how they practice and how they carry themselves with their business. Now, how AI is revolutionizing modern cloud security architectures. Artificial intelligence has become the foundational pillar in next generation cloud security. Instead of relying solely on static rules or manual monitoring, AI transforms the cloud from a reactive environment to a proactive environment. Those of you in leadership, when you're having your meetings and you are discussing with your team, department, or your organization about your transition, that is one of the key words that needs to be expressed in your meetings. Proactive, self-defending, and continuous adapting security ecosystem. So if there's a new threat that comes into place, instead of the old ways of manually going, having a meeting, this is what we have to do, it is automatically becomes a part of your defense mechanism, and you're able to utilize all the real time and real world data and intelligence to protect your organization. Now, before I continue, again, this is Netcom Learning. If you're interested in training, please contact us at www.netcomlearning.com or the phone number 888 563 8266. You also have AWS at netcomlearning.com. How AI is revolutionizing modern cloud security architectures. From reactive security to predictive security, being able to predict trends. I did a webinar a few weeks ago about how AI helps with security in the cloud infrastructure. And one of the things is that the AI itself will go and it'll look at certain trends, be able to predict why this is going this particular way. Um, with training or consultation from Netcom Learning, it can be a little bit more directive, but because every business is different. But a predictive trend can be you can get advisements, you can the AI will let you know where you're going so that you can stop this before you walk off that cliff or before any threats are able to infiltrate or cause any disruption in your business. Traditional security tools react after the threats are detected, which is plenty of businesses have went under different things, and also compliance. Compliance was not met. There were fines that were paid because of the lack of having AI as a part of their infrastructure. AI changes this by using machine learning models to identify the threat patterns before attacks occur, predicting anomalies. Some of these anomalies are so minuscule that trying to see those, even after meetings, after a lot of us as the human intelligence going and trying to find these things, and later on, it was just this minute thing that we missed. With AI, our network activity, our data movement, all of those things are watched, and the anomalies that we would normally miss are now recorded and they're presented to us to give us the opportunity to address it. Spotting the zero-day attacks by recognizing behavior, not signatures. Now, for those who don't know, a zero-day attack is an attack before the company knows. So let's say company ABC is providing some software that you are utilizing, and hackers find a way to infiltrate it, to disrupt it, to make it do something that it's not supposed to do. And that's a zero-day attack. All of that time that's waiting, all the opportunity to exfiltrate data, whatever the case, or what's called the TTPs, that's tactics, techniques, and procedures. And what they're trying to do with that, spotting the zero-day attacks and being able to maybe shut something down, pivot, remove, or protect yourself from those zero-day attacks are just one of the miraculous essential things that all businesses should be utilized in this day and age. Most of the time now, you are not defending yourself against a human being. You're defending yourself actually against another AI. So you should have an AI on your side to help protect you. The outcome, cloud environments shift from detect and respond to predict and prevent. And this has been something that I have loved, and when I go consult businesses about this and the opportunity to be proactive to protect themselves has been met with great reception. Obviously, there are those who have had to learn sometimes the hard way how things are going, and failure to adopt the current technologies to protect yourself has been the peril to quite a few people. Number two, the autonomous threat detection and response. AI enables the real time, the automated protection, and your AI powered SIEM or SOAR systems correlate millions of logs instantly. So you have all these logs that are going, businesses going, different departments. What about those businesses that are spread out all over the world? Being able to monitor and get those logs, have and analyze those logs in real time is something that you just must have. This is a set staple that every business is, especially as in scale, that you need to utilize for your business. Cloud native AI engines. Now, one of the things I love about this webinar is I will be providing you with some of the tools and products that you can specifically use for your organization and that you can receive training on so that you can optimize it to the best of your organization's ability. and become subject matter experts in with whichever cloud platform that you're using through our training, like AWS Guard Duty, Azure Sentinel, Google Chronicle. A triage alerts automatically. And one of the great things about the cloud is, and especially nowadays, is you can go across the cloud platform with these different tools to use with your business. But making sure that you have the appropriate training is it's basically a no-brainer. You have to be able to you have to know how your tool works in order to use it to the optimal ability. Automated remediation shuts down malicious sessions. Sessions equals connections, as I always teach my students. And so you have an active session going, and then something malicious happens, and being able to shut that down and stop that immediately isolates compromised workloads. In cybersecurity, when there's a infiltration or something happens, one the main things that the first things that you have to do is isolate the incident, make sure that it doesn't spread, and have the ability to go and meet the challenge of whatever that malicious things that is happening at that time. Isolated compromised workloads, or block suspicious access without the human delay. Yes, so instantaneously blocking something before it goes into effect. And some of the different things that can tie into this, and one of the things that one of the main things that I teach is heuristic behavior. So um, So let me explain this. An antivirus will use signatures and definitions. So it has a database of what is, to look for, what is wrong, and this to look for this specific code. But you have to be aware that the threat is always evolving, and different people and different machines are trying to learn different ways to get into your system. It never stops. So you need to have the right tools in place that is also learning and also can detect the behavior that you would need to have to instantaneously protect you and not allow the perpetrators to continue with whatever they're trying to do to your organization. The outcome: organizations reduce response time from hours to seconds. Now take a minute to think about that. And in your mind now, think of a scenario. Whether or not it's happened to you or not, just think of a scenario and something's happening. And now in your mind, look at the organization meeting and trying to make sure that all the right people have the information about what has happened and then what to do about what's happened. There may be a playbook that's in play. Maybe there were some tabletop exercises that you did or simulations or whatever the case may be. But while all of that is still going on, your business is whatever the attack is, it's occurring right now. But with this process and with artificial intelligence, now you have that in seconds to lock that down, turn that off, stop that, and without hemorrhaging any more virtual blood from your company. Now you have this, it's been shut down, and you can address it. You can get it to the right people. You can get the remediation in place, but also track, look at different things. And the amount of time that you used to have with the human delay, you can use that now to understand the threat and the best practices, be able to document, help others in whether your organizations or if it if it's something that really needs to be reported, to have that threat neutralized, and those attackers now will need to do something totally different. So this is something to make sure that you understand from that segment. and just take the time. Sometimes when we are listening to webinars or speeches, we don't have the time to really visualize in our head a scenario where this would be advantageous for us. And I want you to take that time to do that now. Now, again, how AI is revolutionizing modern cloud security architectures. Number three, we have the intelligent identity and access management, the IAM. AI strengthens identity security through behavior-based access control. Again, that word I always use when I'm teaching heuristics and the behavior. Being able to understand different behavior is and how it's meant to hurt you and your organization. Continuously verifies if a user or workload is acting normally. This is a life vest for this sea of malicious activity. Adaptive authentication increases multi-factor requirements only when risk is detected. So having that, oh my gosh, it is an amazing privilege, and because of NDAs with other companies, I can just let you know that this has been a lifesaver for some. Privilege drift monitoring, using machine learning to catch unusual permissions or privilege escalations. So, privilege drift monitoring. A lot of times we do our jobs, wash, rinse, repeat. We're doing the same thing. We go over, and some of the practices that, or some of the procedures that we have in place, there becomes a drift in the monitoring because of how we're just get used to doing the same thing over and over. Well, with AI machine learning, it will watch that and catch the unusual permissions or the privilege escalations that have happened. We have people in certain scenarios where this has occurred in real world um, real world types that I can give you from my experience where different people you take vacation, you take time off. So you given the scenario that okay, this is the supervisor. When that supervisor takes vacation, this senior employee becomes so forth like the supervisor, and they've switched and then they switch back, and this person has left the company, and this goes into place because of last minute or an audit is coming. Just different scenarios have come to mind, and the privilege escalation that has happened, and maybe one was compromised and because they got in this position. Well, machine learning will catch that, stop that, provide the data and the information to let everyone who's in that loop to know, and it will automatically stop it. So you then have to say yay or nay on whether to the continue that and to keep the business continuity going, or if to stop this and just to watch all the different drift that can occur. I can give you a million scenarios and examples of where this can happen. AI enforces zero trust across multi-cloud environments. So the prize here is that you have different organizations that will be using different cloud structures within their organization, or don't forget your vendors. And you have that, and you're able to enforce that zero trust to protect your organization from those malicious intrusions or whatever the case may be, or intelligence gathering from your competitor. Number four, the cloud workload protection powered by AI. AI improves protection for VMs, virtual machines, containers, Kubernetes, and serverless functions. This is I this is my wheelhouse. This is what I do. This is what I love, and as I saw the evolution of this happening, I become more and more excited about all that it can do and how it helps our businesses to process, move, and you can get more done without that just sitting in fear every day, waiting for this and that to happen, and to hurry up and scramble to try to take care of that. Leaves baseline behavior for each workload. Your business knows when everything is running smoothly. Your baseline, the behavior for each workload. So you have implemented that into the system, and it knows when, hey, everything is working fine. If there's a tolerance or deviations, to be able to alert you or provide those detection process level anomalies. Crypto mining, privilege escalation. Crypto mining was so big for throughout years where companies, hey, they have the computer with the great graphics and everything there. How about we go in there or hack into that system and use it to mine cryptocurrency? Or the privilege escalation to steal your business ideas or what you're going to do, your plans. So now, again, I want you to not just take this webinar as something and hear me speak and then go to the next. I want you to visualize all of these scenarios in your mind and how these what can happen to your business, your organization if these things happen, and by not having this in place. Monitors container images and infrastructure as a code templates for misconfigurations. I personally love that. I get busy. I'm speaking, I'm teaching, I'm running all my businesses, and to make sure configurations are together, that team that provides that, going behind someone. No, you have this tool in place for that. The cloud workloads become self monitoring and self healing. So, as something is basically as what we covered now, something happens and it fixes itself to the to whatever ability that it has, but it does that. It's an automated response, which is something that should just any sysadmins, cloud admins, network administrators. I'm sure you gotta love this, and this will help you sleep a lot better at night. I know it has with me throughout my career. How AI is revolutionizing modern cloud security architectures. Let's go to number 5. AI enhances data security and privacy. AI plays a major role in protecting cloud storage data. It classifies sensitive data automatically, so PII, PHI, and financial data. So with our banking systems, and let's talk about the federal contracts that you would have. You utilizing this tool to keep that in place. It detects unusual data access or exfiltration, identifies shadow data or misconfigured storage buckets, uses AI driven encryption and privacy preserving models. Take a minute to look at what you're receiving from this in this section in number 5, where AI covers this. Now, think about your organization and how this covers you and how you would be able to utilize this. Do you have anyone in your organization who is trained on cloud to provide this? And you think about how much money would this save you, not just from the attacks themselves, but having this in place. Your organizations gain continuous data visibility and control. To have that access from there and to streamline your systems. You got the multi-cloud security becomes unified. Looking at this, we have all our different cloud models that we use, and each one's competitive. Each one provides this and what it goes through. And some departments, and one scenario, I had a department. Well, there was a company, and their department was using a lot of the Google Cloud, but their main thing was to use the AWS that The organization mainly utilized that, and they had financial parts of the company that were using Azure. And the fear, this was a while back, but the fear was integrating, having these things work together. And one aspect was not having anyone that was trained on that, and to let them know that, hey, okay, as things have evolved, that you can go across and everything is unified. It set the business up in a better trajectory and made things a lot smoother and easier for them. The multi-cloud used to mean multiple dashboards, rules, and risk levels. AI now unifies the threat intelligence across AWS, Azure, and GCP, normalizes alerts, normalizes alerts and log formats. Imagine now you got that clean data that you can go and look at across the cloud structures that you are using. It eliminates blind spots between the cloud providers, automates compliance checks against NIST, CIS, ISO, and HIPAA. Take a minute. Take a minute to look at this. Multi-cloud, unified work, and your compliance. AI creates one security brain across many cloud environments. Do we understand that? All right, let's move on. Number 7, incident response and SOC operations are transformed. AI reduces SOC burden by automating the tier 1 alert triage. Now you have that set up, your IT team to be able to deal with any of the alerts, anything that's going on, and it's an automated response. But all your tiers are the tiers are able to work seamlessly. The data is there, and any of the intelligence doesn't have any of those loops, and the structured way to be able to present it so that your team can react in a more cognitive and more attack mode to be able to, well, I don't say attack, but perhaps a better word would be a more unified front to be able to deal with any problems that come your way. The law correlation and threat hunting. So you're actually looking for that. Your system has that, looking for the threats that could come and could um, fall in your system or your business model. One of the things that I will be referring to a few businesses, they do taxes in this day and age, is to make sure that they implement this into their business, and tax seasons with all the scams that are going on. This would be a no-brainer that they would need for their business. So in 2 weeks, I'll be giving them a presentation about utilizing this and going to get the Netcom learning so that they have someone in their organization who can actually take advantage of all of this. So the threat hunting, the forensic analysis, being able to take a look at all the different things that have happened and to go back and the best practices and how you can stop this from happening, or even if something did not affect your business, just to have it in place and be prepared for that. The root cause detection. You always need to know what the root cause is. What is the last thing in the troubleshooting model? Making sure that you document and have things in place so that it doesn't happen again. Some cloud native SOCs now operate in a human on the loop model. AI handles the heavy lifting, humans make the final decisions. It's a amazing thing. And this practice is kind of like the same thing for um, space travel, different other aspects of not just business, but the overall all thing so that the AI can take care of this and you make the final decision on how things go. This practice and this model has been used in innovation for these last few years, and you've seen that it works, so that you can be able to go take a look at this and reduce the time and the damage, if there is any damage that even occurs, because you can get those alerts and watching the patterns from what I spoke of in the earlier section. Number 8, AI enables continuous compliance. Compliance is no longer a point in time audit. AI scans configurations 24/7. Remembering teams that would come and they would have to have these meetings every week or several times during the week to make sure that they're in compliance to meet that contract. Now you have the AI that flags violations instantly, automates remediation workflows, generates audit ready reports. This reduces compliance workloads by 60 to 80% for cloud teams. It only makes sense that you should have this. All business models should work on this. There are smaller businesses that are just one or two people that are utilizing this, and especially in that case, because you don't have the team to do this. Larger businesses, this is how you do business, and this is what you use to do business with. Let's get to the key AI driven tools and the techniques to predict and prevent cyber threats. Machine learning, machine learning based threat detection. AI models learn patterns of normal behavior across users, devices, and network traffic. Take a look at that across users. In this day and age, people transfer, they leave jobs here, there's no, you stay at this company for a long time and build this, whatever. No, people jump ship every day. You see it. Look at the big companies now where they're poaching talent from different companies to come and work here and to come and work there. The disgruntled employee, all of these things. Look at your organization. So as AI learns patterns of normal behavior across users, devices, and network traffic, they automatically detect anomalies that traditional rule-based systems miss. Those of you from learning your CompTIA certifications in the rule-based systems and how that is set, and we have that structure that goes through there. But now we have this to keep this and watch everything for you. Baseline normal behavior. Your baseline. You want that business continuity. How's your business running? Everything's going smoothly here. And then you can get an alert if there's any issues or the potential for issues. Detect unusual logins, privilege escalations, or lateral movements. Does that sound familiar? Any of you that are listening in the security industry? Identify the zero attacks again, and or new malware families. We have the different things. Wireless malware. Oh my goodness, think about the dangers of that, how that runs. Remember, this is malware that where it can run without you doing anything other than going to that web page. Your employees are all over the internet during their workday, going here and there, unless it's your policy that you keep them within the constraints here, or you. This is malware that where it can run without you doing anything other than going to that web page. Your employees are all over the internet during their workday, going here and there, unless it's your policy that you keep them within the constraints here, or you provide some URL filtering. But spotting the insider threats, how much information is stolen from this place and it's gone and it's taken to here to this other organization. Or one thing that I've seen in a recent trend is people will go work at a company and learn and steal all the different things and then start their own business from there. and going and just grabbing your information, exfiltrating. Well, you have this tool in place for that. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, and then I'll start on the remaining topics after the break.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5-minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue from where we left off. Key AI driven tools, techniques to predict and prevent cyber threats. Drum roll, please. Number one, AI powered threat intelligence platforms. AI automatically ingests, correlates, and scores threat data from the dark web. Yes, you have employees that will be going through the dark web. Open source intel, OSINT, malware repositories, and global attack telemetry. Take a minute to take a look at this. Those of you in the security industry, if your organization isn't using this and then you're trying to get them to utilize this, you may want to take a second and put this into your notes to provide this information there and how you would be able to present it to whoever the leadership or whoever needs to know, and the deep threats that are tied into what your business does. Now, so many people always hear, "Oh, your information's on the dark web. This is on the dark web. This there," and how the dark web sells information, provides this. If this, one of the things on the dark web is if there's some way to get into a company, or there's some new malware or technique, that information is out there, and that big C to be purchased, and so that people can try to use that to go and attack your business. The AI powered threat intelligence platforms will automatically, again, ingest, correlate, and score the data threats for you, so that you can have that prepared and have that shield in place. This improves early warning and speeds response. So now you have that in place to have to that layer of protection. So in cybersecurity, we work in something called defense in depth. We have layers of protection in place to help protect us from the malicious attacks and all the different things that can go against our organization, including those who actively work for our business and work in our organization. Number two, the AI powered threat intelligence platforms. AI automatically, as said, ingest, um, correlates, scores the data threat. And as I had put this twice on here because I wanted to make sure that this was just the seriousness of how you need to take this, from the malware repositories, the global attack telemetries. As I was comprising this and making sure that I had something that a life, sort of like a life or death type of situation for a business. Some things that we take for granted, and throughout my career of seeing certain businesses that went under, or they had to sell their business, or because of certain incidents that did happen, whole teams were removed, CEOs were removed, different C-suite management, company departments were removed, and they outsourced the work. I extremely emphasize that you make sure that you take a look at this, and that you take all of this extremely serious. So with that, let's get to our number three, our cloud native AI security services. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Cloud environments, AWS, Azure, and GCP now embed the AI to detect threats within the workload. So now you have the day-to-day actions that are tied in there, and to look at some of the different things. A lot of our work is automated anyway, and becoming more and more automated. So the human interaction that goes in there, or we're tied to different vendors, different outsources, and the identities, the APIs, and the data flows are now being watched and made sure that everything is integrated together, working. And if there's anything that just is out of the ordinary, data is ones and zeros, right? So if a one is out of place or a zero is out of place, is the data correct? No, not at all. And being able to make sure that you manually monitor that becomes almost an impossible feat, which you no longer have to worry about, because we have artificial intelligence. Number four, AI enhanced endpoint detection and response, EDR and XDR, EDR and XDR. Whether you know about this or not, you're on the different, where you're LinkedIn, IEEE.org, or any of the places, you see those acronyms all the time, and you're looking. Those of us who are in this IT field, we see it and we understand. AI models analyze endpoint telemetry, processes, registry, memory, behavior to prevent malware and ransomware. A lot of our new malware now is to go into the memory. Well, I don't even want to call it new. I guess it would be new for those in the industry. Most things were made to scan your storage to see if you had anything bad inside of there. but the memory was not watched. Memory is temporary storage. It's volatile. It can go in there. It's it's just a temporary place that things travel through. So hackers took advantage of that and would install different packets, malwares, payloads inside of the memory to be able to go there. But also the behavior, how things worked, and the privilege, the escalations, and different things. We think about something. I want you to remember this, those that are have never heard of it, something called a rootkit. A rootkit gives the attacker complete control without you knowing. And most rootkits can bypass antiviruses. And with this AI enhanced richness that you have to be able to look at those extreme threats that come from state-sponsored hackers, for say, and these company and these hacking groups that are put together to try to attack you, you have these tools in place to help you defend against that. Some of the key capabilities detects against fileless malware. I'm going to be teaching a couple of, well, actually, around 50 people in January about this, and specifically that the fileless malware that just goes and downloads onto your computer, sits there, has this, and goes and just poisons your data, poisons your system. And whatever they're trying to do, it could be to steal your information. But keep in mind, there are also malware there that's created to just take down your organization. So that single point that it goes in, gets into there, and then spreads through your organization can be extremely destructive. Behavioral ransomware protection. Taking a look at, hey, this is something's off here, and locking that down and being able to look at that. Autonomous quarantine is and remediation. I absolutely love that. It'll automatically block, lock that, stop it from spreading, and quarantine it so that you can take a look at it. Now, part of my team, doing reverse engineers and malware, having that opportunity to look at some of the new stuff that was sent out, or this company was attacked with this, and is quarantine. What type of attack was it? Where did it come from? What is its purpose? What was the person trying to do, or the team, or whoever the perpetrators were? What was their intent? And you have these key capabilities with AI now, so make sure that you are using them. Automated threat hunting. AI supports analysts by identifying hidden threats and suspicious chains of events. I'm going to be teaching a young man next week on threat hunting. And this part here is what I'll be also going and emphasizing with him. That is pattern matching with graph analytics, behavior clustering, putting that all together. What's the big picture by taking multiple things and having that together? Predictive anomaly scoring, making sure how high or low is the threat. A threat is a threat is a threat. Being able to identify, but you also have to have that scoring mechanism so that you can prioritize what you need to do and what you which ones which threats do take priority. Companies, it's not like the movies where you get that one threat, that one thing that happens, and that's it, and you just focus there. You get a plethora of attacks, and you have all these things that are there, and now it's how do you prioritize which ones to go? Well, you have this tool and this mechanism in place to do this and help you with that. The SOAR plus AI for automated incidents response. So the security orchestration, automation, and response. Security orchestration, automation, and response platforms now integrate AI to automate the triage, alert enrichment, the ticket creation, the playbook execution, and containment actions. Keeping that containment together and making sure that things are within that realm, how that goes. And so imagine that there was an attack, it was contained. You have the ability to have people in your organization to go and take a look at that particular attack, what they were trying to do. You may transfer your data. You may beef up security here. You may look at this, but regardless, you have the immediate intelligence to be able to analyze and make an intelligent decision, or you may not have to do anything, but just to have it in place and make sure that it's there and it stopped it, it went through, and everything's working as it should be so that your business can continue doing what your business is supposed to do. But one of the key things that I keep emphasizing is making sure that you have a team that knows it. What good is a tool if no one knows how to use it? So you have to make sure that you have the right skills in place to uh, to take care of this. And I one of the things that I've encountered is there have been organizations that they just knew how to use a few things there, and they weren't really versed in being able to take advantage of the tool. And it was so much that they were missing, and so much money that they were wasting because of the lack of knowledge that they could have just had someone go learn this and have and be able to run this in an organization and save those hundreds of thousands of dollars that they were missing all of the time until they finally realized it. All right, let's continue. Let's get to some real world examples of AI in action with AWS, Azure, and multi cloud environments. Now, in this webinar, we will be giving you, well, I will be giving you tools and some of the things that you may not be familiar with. But again, the training is available for you to be able to know this. And now this is a part of the business infrastructure that businesses, large, small, this is how things are run now. Let's keep moving. So, key AI driven tools and techniques to predict and prevent cyber threats. Let's take a look at AWS AI in action. So, we got the Amazon Guard Duty. This is a very, very, very popular tool that goes through. And one of the things that you'll learn, even when you start off with learning or getting your first AWS certification, machine learning for threat detection, continuously analyzes the VPC flow logs, DNS logs, and CloudTrail logs. It identifies anomalies such as unusual API calls, compromised IAM keys, and crypto mining behavior. We mentioned some of this earlier, but those are more tech savvy or going into there to get to some more specifics and the tools and what does what and why you would use that, because there always has to be a why. These are used by companies like GE and Autodesk for 24/7 automated threat detection. So this is not just a tool that's out there, hey, try this and see how this works. No, this is used by some of the top companies in the world. Amazon SageMaker for predictive security models. Security teams train machine learning models for malware classification, fraud detection, and behavioral analytics. Netflix uses SageMaker to run real-time anomaly sorry, detection for billions of events. I get so excited about this and having these tools in place because throughout the decades these were not, and now we have them. And it's either a lot of people have no clue that these even exist. Some people have a thought and they think that, well, we can get by with this or what we've been doing. And this is how we've always done things, which is not how you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to evolve and not put your company in jeopardy. Um, I absolutely love, especially being able, it's not like a name drop, but to make sure that you understand these are tools are used by some of the biggest companies that you probably use in your business or personal life. Anyway, Amazon Macy for data privacy uses AI to automatically identify and classify sensitive data, PII, HIPAA, etc. NS3. It cuts the manual compliance workloads by over 60% in large enterprises. Some of you that are tied to the legal departments of your company and you have to make sure keeping that together. I know that this right here just gave you a sense of relief in your mind. um, Someone for this organization, I introduced this to her to make her job so much easier, and it helped her with her personal life because it was just able to relax. It was just the stress of trying to make sure to keep compliance, keep everything together became an overwhelming feat. AI enhanced auto scaling in AWS. Machine learning forecasting predicts load and automatically scales EC2 fleets used by Pinterest and Airbnb people to reduce operational costs and prevent outages. Let's go again. Let's take a look. So we have our Amazon Guard Duty, machine learning for threat detection, Amazon SageMaker for predictive security models, Amazon Macy for data privacy, AI enhanced auto scaling in AWS. So instead of having to stop your operations and reset, go here and there, one of the things when cloud came out was you were kind of stuck in this model. Now you're able to scale as your company goes and it can stay aligned and there's no stopping. The business continuity is there in place for you to keep moving. Let's get into some Microsoft Azure. Microsoft AI in action. Microsoft Sentinel, SIEM, and SOAR with AI correlation. It uses machine learning to detect zero-day threats, insider activity, and compromised identities. I love that right there. And I plan on next year making some scenarios so can give some just that simulation so you can see how this works. It automatically correlates identity, endpoint, and the cloud telemetry. Companies like ASOS uses Sentinel for fully automated incident response flows. Number two, Microsoft Azure. Azure, OpenAI for security automation. Enterprises uses GPT-based models to summarize the security alerts, generate the remediation scripts for you, analyze malware samples, reduce analyst workload by 40 to 60%. So you've been seeing this AI shift, all this movement from human capital to all these things that are happening. Well, this is one of the reasons why that you have this. You don't have a whole bunch of people, and I just imagine there and lab coats analyzing this and that. No, you have the tool right there to be able to take care of and go through this and summarize, put everything together. Some of us remember analyzing the malware samples for you to give you that head start and give you a baseline in order to go and to take a look at what the malware was that was put in place to attack you. Number three, the Azure Cognitive Services for Identity and Access, AI powered biometric authentication and anomaly detection in Azure AD is Entra ID. Remember that word Entra ID. The irony of this is later on today, I will have to explain that to a group of people. It's usually would be a few minutes, but the Entra ID, it just took over for something in Microsoft, and I'm not going to go there and spiral off, but just make sure that you understand. Automatically flags impossible travel, atypical sign-ins, and suspicious m- um, multi-factor authentication behavior. So you had Joe signed in New York, and 30 minutes later, he was signed in London. That doesn't seem real, right? Teleportation isn't here that far yet. So, just things to keep in mind. Let's go with number 4, Azure Machine Learning for Predictive Infrastructure Health. Machine learning models predict VM failures, application shutdowns, and or network congestion. Routing categories, being able to route your system. This is used by HSBC and Shell to proactively repair and optimize their systems. These things are here. So if these companies are using this and this is the backbone of how they're proceeding, why are you not using this now? Why is your team um, not versed, not trained to use these tools and to do everything possible to make your company successful in all the best ways that it can? All right, let's move along. I don't want to shame you, but I want to make sure that you have everything that you're that you're supposed to be doing in the correct way. And this is the correct way. Multi-cloud AI across AWS, Azure, GC, GCP, and on-prem or on-premises. Number one, AI-driven security operation platforms like CloudStrike, Palo Alto, Cortex, Sime, and Splunk AI analyze logs from AWS, Azure, and GCP and on-prem in a unified dashboard right there in front of you. This is to detect lateral movement across cloud boundaries, reduce false positives by up to 90%. False positives were some of the most annoying things to go through there. You went and you think that this is happening. You're doing all these processes, you're double and triple checking, and it was a false positive. All of that energy that you used to put into there now is gone because you have these tools that are available that you can utilize. We look at Cloudflare. That's number two, Cloudflare plus AI for global traffic defense. And many of you that are on this webinar now, you know how big Cloudflare is, how Cloudflare is utilized by a multitude of companies and to control how things are going and how things flow as far as the internet and from a global traffic defensive standpoint, how it's integral in our day-to-day operations. Monitors multi-cloud traffic patterns for DDoS, botnets, and malicious payloads. You always get when I'm training some people, or and I get there and I always tell them, you get people who say, "Well, I don't have anything." They will be laxed in their security. Well, I don't have anything that anybody wants, so I'm not doing anything. Or some recently I heard, oh, I would be bored if they see my stuff. Well, botnets. What is a zombie? A zombie is one computer that's been taken over. What is a botnet? A group of zombies. So those computers get taken over to get used as a botnet to do a concerted attack. Imagine having 1,000 people attacking you. So that gets used, and because security, what majority of people still isn't taken serious, this is still a serious threat. And I assume it'll continue. And the DDoS are always being utilized. I think some kid did a DDoS attack that could have caused a lot of problems, but was deflected. It learns from activity across millions of websites simultaneously. Yes, automatically blocks new attacks without any human input. You don't have to go do anything, lift a hand. It's already in place for you, right? And make sure to take a look at all the information that is inside of this webinar. Number three, Kubernetes plus AI for workload optimization. Tools like KubeCos AI, Buffet, Dynatrace, Davis AI predicts CPU and memory usage across clusters. So groups of computers, groups of servers. It detects misconfigurations and privilege escalation attempts. It optimizes the multi-cloud deployments for cost and performance. Now, take a minute, take a look at this. And one of the things, because of this being a multi-cloud environment, and look at the companies that are utilizing it, but look at what it is doing. All right. Number four, AI for multi-cloud compliance, AWS plus Azure plus GCP. Platforms such as Wiz, Prisma, Cloud, and Lacework use AI to correlate misconfigurations across multiple clouds. Have you noticed that we keep saying multiple clouds to go across platforms? Because one of the main things I hear people say is, well, I don't get this because if I get this cloud platform, I can't use this one, or this part of the company use this, so we can't have this and that. That is not true. That is an old wild wise tale. Now, that does not happen. You can work across multiple platforms to correlate, prioritize vulnerabilities based on exploitivity, and map real attack paths across cloud providers. Because keep in mind that these are different things. Let's take, for instance, Google, Microsoft, which are a lot of times totally have different setups. And I mention those because we think about from a browser perspective. You know, you got Edge, you got Chrome, you have that, so it's more easier to see those. And we looked at those as a difference. And then AWS is holding that foundation from there, that storage foundation that comes to mind. Looking at that, you can go through this and work in sync to protect your data and your organization. Is if for any other reason, utilizing and learning this platform and having this in place is gives a reason to prioritize learning this. And you should at this point in time understand how, if your organization isn't already using this and you don't have the competent people to do this, where will you be? Where's your organization going to go? How much have you put that organization in to a point of danger, per se? Um, Shareholders, board of directors, how the ability to look at, well, why didn't you use this, or why wasn't this in place? And the responsibility to the company to have your company using this, and having to be able to explain or this or that. It becomes almost to a point of negligence where some will look at that. And I'm not saying this from a personal perspective, but from what I've seen, and when I talk with different individuals or investors, and how that goes with different companies. Some investors, right, or hey, before we invest, you need to put this in place. And then we take a look at that, and that's in place. And then the investment will continue and go. And as you're trying to acquire funds, being able to let the lenders, investors, or whatever the parties are that are providing any monetary support for you, that you have this in place for them to give them more assurance to invest in you or whatever the case may be. Number, pardon me, number five, AI-based data governance across clouds. Companies use AI to automatically classify and protect data stored across AWS S3 via Azure Blob Storage, Google Cloud Storage, on-prem file shares. This ensures consistent GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI compliance. Now, the GDPR, so your data is being used in Europe, and that you are consistent with that, and you're protecting that data, and not this manual trying to watch this and keep this in place, but that you have that to work with. These things right here, and they're already built in there. They know what you need. They know how it needs to work. Um, they have the examples of how that goes, and you also have the assurance to see that these large organizations are utilizing this also. So you are not the beta test in this at all. You are actually getting on board with something that is a proven tool, a proven asset for different companies. Now, how to automate threat detection and incident response using machine learning models. We take a look, of course, you see the red to detect the threat malware, automated response engine, block the malicious IP, quarantine infected hosts, and notify the SOC that, hey, we got a problem. But if you look at the arrows, you'll see that from the automated response, all of this is all together at the same time. This isn't a one level that goes through. It is exactly so. As the threat was blocked, the SOC team was all automatically notified, and it was quarantined. AI and machine learning are transforming how organizations defend the cloud environment instead of relying on the signatures, the manual logs, or scripted playbooks, which some of us we know that this is how we go through, and this is how this works, and this and following through how these things go. The playbooks and the rehearsals, the practices. This it often reminded me I'm ex-military, so I remember those practices from the decades and years, and going to these scenarios and then how we respond. The machine learning models automatically detect anomalies, classify threats, trigger responses, and neutralize incidents in real time. That neutralize incidents in real time should bring some form of excitement for you. I know it's with me. Perhaps this is now has this become so exciting, and seeing the evolution of technology, and people becoming a little more safer, or things being automated more. And I've always sought that throughout my career, to have that in place and then have the human behind that instead of in front of it trying to keep up, because it was just too much. Now we look at how to automate the data detection incident response using machine learning. But number one, data collection and featuring engineering. Machine learning powered detection starts with collecting massive data sets across cloud environments. You can't move without data. What is the new gold? Data. Data sources used, we got cloud logs like AWS CloudTrail, Azure Activity Logs, GCP Audit Logs, network traffic flows, identity and access management, IAM events, endpoint telemetry, EDR and XDR data, container and Kubernetes logs, API gateway logs, email, and software as a service activity. User behavior analytics, which is I absolutely love this and having that because of just the different behavior and how so many years it was the behavior that was able to allow the attacker to get through. Featuring engineering examples, machine learning models extract meaningful signals such as login frequency, geolocation patterns, API call sequences, upload and download behavior, process creation events, process creation events. And again, process creation events. I said that 3 times because of that's getting set and putting that in place by different people. That shadow IT department that you may have. Lateral movement patterns, resource provisioning spikes, failed versus successful authentication ratios. Number two, machine learning models used in threat detection. Hey, the anomaly detection, unsupervised machine learning. This is used when labeling attacks is difficult. You can't just quite do it, but you have that. So you have to have the anomaly. You don't know what you don't know. The isolation force, the one class SVM, the autoencoders, and a K means clustering, which will be a term that you will be remembering for a long time when you start your cloud journey and your cloud learning. Some of the use case examples: impossible travel logins, abnormal S3 bucket access, privilege escalation anomalies, and rare API calls in a microservice environment. So now we're back to that granular effect and being able to detect that from a very small very small scope. All right, and we take a look at our different things to be classification models. The supervised machine learning used when events labels exist, a random forest, gradient boosting, and XGBoost, neural networks, logistics regression. And let's look at our use case, malware classification. And is there anyone that's not on this webinar that isn't tired or you know how dangerous phishing detection is, fraud detection, and your cloud resource misuse or classification? You're paying for your cloud service. So you need to be able to monitor and what is being used and how to be able to save that resource. We got our deep learning models, useful for high volume, high complexity cloud telemetry. The LSTMs for event sequences, the CNNs for file and memory forensics, transformers for log analytics. Our use cases: detecting multi step kill chains, predicting ransomware behavior, identifying automated bot activity. Bots are used in so many things and have tricked people into doing all types of things. And normally I would go through all of these from the terms, but for the sake of time, I'll make sure that I proceed on. And I want you to make sure that you get the training that you need to know all of these things and to run effectively. Machine learning detection feeds directly into the SOAR, Palo Alto Cortex XOR, Splunk SOAR, Microsoft Sentinel, IBM Resilient, Rapid7 Insight Connect. Automated response actions, there are threat detection. We look at automated machine learning and SOAR response. Suspicious login, force the multi-factor authentication challenge and lock that account down. Malware detected, isolate endpoint, and kill the process. Data exfiltration, block outbound traffic. They're trying to steal your data, stop it from going out. Revoke that token. Ransomware behavior, snapshot VM, isolate network, and stop encryption. Credential compromise, reset password, disable access. Unauthorized cloud access will remove the roles, quarantine the IAM user. All right. So we are going. Integrating the cloud security structure requires careful planning to ensure it enhances rather than complicates your security posture. And here's how to approach it effectively. Start with a clear AI strategy. Everything, you start with a strategy, an AI security strategy. Before deploying tools, define what problems AI must solve. You must list the problems, anything that you're doing in business or and even in your personal life. I do that. Make sure what are the problems that needs to be solved. Identify high value use cases, threat detection, anomaly detection, I'm risk scoring, malware analysis, data classification. Map AI goes to business and compliance requirements. You have your NIST, CSF, CIS, CMMC, ISO 2701, and your SOC 2. Prioritize areas with the highest risk to effort ratio: identity, network traffic, cloud logs, and EDR. Ensure strong data foundations. AI is only as good as your logs. AI models require high quality data. Best practices: centralized logs in a SIEM, Azure Sentinel, Splunk, Chronicle, Elastic. Enforce standardized logging across AWS, Azure, GCP, Microsoft 365, endpoints, software as a service. Remove the noise using log normalization and enrichment. Classify sensitive data before using it. Remember that that's a practice that um, gets missed a lot. Using it to train or feed AI tools. Why this matters? AI detection accuracy depends on its visibility. Poor log quality equals false positives or your blind spots. Integrate AI into a zero trust security model. AI works best when aligned with zero trust principles. So, our actions: use AI driven identity threat detection. Look at that acronym: India Tango Delta Romeo, identity threat detection and response. Apply continuous authentication. In cybersecurity now, the key word is authentication, 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 and behavioral analytics using AI. Automate policy enforcement on conditional access and privilege escalation. You have to work with continuously verifying users, continuously verifying devices, and the workloads based on the risk score. You have different people. One of the exercises that I did was I went and got one of those mini computers and plugged in I mini computer. I turned it into a server, and I plugged it in to one of the ports to add that into the system and to see was would it be detected as practice to help that IT team know what to have in place and to look at. Thankfully, it was detected. But having that, because so many places we will have an empty conference room, an empty place to be able to go and add a piece of equipment and just have something to try to go into the system since everything is networked together. But you have this tool in place to make sure that you can stop that and how your workflow and your work base can continue and it just automatically blocked it. Number four, use AI models that fit your cloud infrastructure. Each cloud provides specialized AI security tools. So one of the great things is being able to like, okay, we need this, this, and this, and you can go and take a look at that and be able to process through what, oh, okay, we want this or which cloud model that we want. If you're a bigger organization, we want this cloud for this department and this cloud for this department, etc. So we look at AWS and some of the tools here. Amazon Guard Duty, threat detection. Amazon Detective Investigation, AWS Security Hub, Compliance AI Insights, AI-based anomaly detection via CloudWatch and Lookout. So here's a few of your AWS tools. Let's go to Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Defender for cloud AI threat detection. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Microsoft Defender. There is a commercial or enterprise version of Microsoft Defender, and Microsoft Defender has been a part and it comes with your system. This is a enterprise level model that is utilized using the AI that is built into it. And if you haven't heard of it, take a look at it. Type in there the Microsoft Defender for Cloud and some of the features that and some of the things that it can do. Sentinel with the UEBA anomaly detection, intra ID protection, risk scoring, and identity AI. Google, Google Cloud Chronicle AI threat clustering. You have your security command center, predictive risk analysis. And we know how good, especially those of us that have been in tech for a while, how good Google is with artificial intelligence. We got Cloud Armor, machine learning, behavioral modeling for DDoS and WAF, wireless access firewall. And I can't tell you how great this works and how good it is. Um, a friend who works for an agency um, years ago worked with me and was showing me the a higher echelon of how this works from just the cookie cutter and utilizing this. Multi-cloud, Wiz AI Insights, Palo Alto Cortex Zyme, CrowdStrike Falcon with AI engines, Splunk ML and security analytics, IBM Q Radar SIEM with AI SOC. Choose tools that seamlessly integrate via APIs and event streams. You have the tools are out there. Use them. We have them available now. And number five, automate incident response with SOAR and AI. AI plus SOAR, the orchestrates. Security orchestration, automation, and response. It accelerates your SOC. Your best practices, automate tier one investigation, IP reputation, sandboxing, log correlation. Use AI playbooks for common incidents, suspicious login attempts, ransomware indicators, malware alerts, data exfiltration events, enable auto containment for endpoints or identities based on confidence scores, continuously refine playbooks through feedback loops. Number six, implement AI based on continuous compliance. AI can automate security posture management practices. Use cloud security posture management powered by AI Wiz, Prisma, Cloud, and Fugu. Ensure baselines automatically. IAM policies, encryption, tagging, and your network rules. Network rules. Predict misconfigurations before they occur using machine learning models. Automate the evidence collection for audits. SOC 2, PCI DSS, HIPAA, and FedRAMP. Adopt human in the loop security. AI should augment the SOC, not replace it. Remember, don't just have that. There needs to be, so to speak, an oversight. Allow analysts to review high impact automated actions. Enable human override. I have seen that it hasn't been in place. You have to have that on privilege revocation, firewall changes, and quarantines. Use AI to surface insights, not make the final decisions. You make the final decisions. This ensures safety, accuracy, and compliance. Number eight, build guardrails to prevent AI misuse. Protect AI models and data pipelines. Security guardrails include encrypt all AI training and inference data. Restrict access to model APIs, implement model monitoring to detect drift or poisoning. Um, I'm a certified ethical hacker. Poisoning data is a way for the offensive attack, and that is another mode or purpose. The reason why the hackers are doing something. Use differential privacy for sensitive data sets, ensure prompt injections, and large language model exploitation controls for Gen AI. Number nine, conduct continuous monitoring and validation. AI models degrade over time. Continuous improvement is mandatory. In your actions, review false positives and negatives monthly. Retrain and refine tune models based on new threats. Use threat intelligence feeds to enrich model predictions and benchmark your AI-driven SOC against Mitri attack. Start with small pilots, then scale organizations wide adoption. It should be incremental. Approach, identify a single high impact area, identify threats, deploy AI tools, tune them, train teams on workflows, expand to cloud workloads, endpoints, and your perimeter security. Move to full AI driven SOC automation. This accelerates your ROI and reduces operation friction, business continuity in place. All right. And I'd like to thank you for listening and joining this webinar. I am extremely passionate about this because I know this is a part of the infrastructure for our nation that we have to make sure that all businesses integrate this into their business flow that actually use this method. I know there are certain businesses that won't, but for the majority of businesses, this cloud model is something that definitely needs to be utilized and taken advantage of. Again, thank you. My name is Ronald Clanton, and thank you for joining us. I'll take some questions and answers now.
Thank you, Ronald. That was very informative. Now I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Remy, our vendor manager, to introduce our promotions and webinar related courses.
Thank you, Tracy. I believe everyone must have learned something new today or would have been able to brush up their skills around the fundamentals of AWS Cloud. I would quickly like to take you through some of our handpicked resources, which we think will immensely help in accelerating your AWS Cloud scaling journey. Well, this document here of sharing on my screen, this has been shared with you all in the handout section of GoToWebinar panel. You can download this document and access all the resources and browse all the offerings we have curated for you. So first up here is the list of our recommended courses, which we feel will best suit your learning journey after attending our masterclass. All these courses are hyperlinked. Feel free to go through them post-event and check out the course descriptions, prerequisites, and the value it can add to you and your team's skill sets. Additionally, we have curated a blend of resources, including our upcoming and on-demand events, as well as informative and educational blogs. You can make the most of these resources to gain extensive knowledge on the AWS topics they cover. Our free AWS e-learning courses follow a self-paced training model wherein you get the liberty of accessing extensive course-related videos that are delivered by the AWS subject matter experts on the go. So these videos cover the availability on the device of your choice, so you can access them from your laptop, your tablet, or from your phone as well. There are more than 280 videos covering various AWS topics explained in a very easy to comprehend language. You can simply sign up for free, watch these videos, and make the most out of them. Also here, I would like to inform you that this session is being recorded. So in case you want to refer back to any of the topics that the trainer might have covered in today's session, we will be sharing the recording link with you through emails, and also you can access it here by clicking on this button. So you have to download this handout for that, and then if you want to revisit any topic, you can just simply click on the access recording and you can revisit the session and learn at your own pace. Now, apart from our virtual sessions, you can also catch the relevant updates related to IT and business trainings on our social media handles. So please feel free to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates. Our official pages and channels are linked here on the icons. Finally, if you have any suggestions regarding the topics you would like us to cover in our upcoming webinars and masterclasses, please don't hesitate to send us a direct message, or you can leave a comment on our social media posts, or you can just simply email us at info@netcomlearning.com. We would definitely try to come up with the sessions on your suggested topics. Thank you once again for joining us today. Over to you, Tracy.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Remy. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. First question is, how can organizations successfully adopt AI for cloud security?
Well, being able to adopt it for the AI security would be one of the things is actually go to the sites, but contacting Netcom Learning to get that understanding. To look at, find out what your business, what problems you want to, what problems that you want to fix, and how do you want to enhance your business. Take a look at the different cloud providers and look at the ones that you would want to have in your organization. Your next step is to make sure that you have the personnel with the proper training and to seek that learning from that Netcom. Obviously, I'm gonna be partial for Netcom learning and get that learning, and then to have that to integrate into your system. Have a training model that you work with, put that together, and then transition that over to um, your organization.
Second question, what type of insights can AI provide?
What type of insights that AI can provide? AI can provide insights onto about where your business is going. Previous webinar that I did, the AI can let you know how your growth model is going. Are you on a flat level or are you accelerating? It can also show you um, things that you are doing that aren't necessary. AI can show you where you can save money and where you can make money. And from this is a security webinar to show you those potential threats that are in place. And one potential insight that I really like is that insider threat to be able to see that some people are starting to do things that they don't naturally do and to have their actions flagged so that you can see that and you can go and nip that in the bud. So make sure that you have that predictive information, predictive analytics, and also to those those fast alerts to give you the insights for that. And let's face it, the main basis of business is to make money. Utilizing this helps you to make money and help you to streamline your business and to have your business run the best that it can. Next question.
Next question in the queue, which AI tools deliver the biggest performance improvements?
Well, as far as the performance for the AI tool, that really depends on your business. We know how big AWS is and how it has and provides this, but let's go into that Microsoft, right? A lot of our tools, our Office is with Microsoft. So Microsoft is tied in with Azure and putting that and working that together. Now, our AI and having those being able to go into a real big scale with artificial intelligence, and we know that the forefront of a lot of that is Google. So it depends on your organization and where you're going. You have an organization that is running the day by day operations, and you just want to your business is profitable. Pardon me, and you just want your business to continue going and have this and have things in place and make sure that where you can save money and where you can and secure, you can go and pick those base models. But if you're looking for innovation and to build your business up, having that combination that ties in or that innovation department. And as this webinar indicated, you don't have to lock it down with one cloud model. Most companies don't and shouldn't. You should have multiple cloud models depending on that section and what they need to thrive in there, because you can monitor and you can control it across all the cloud platforms with the multi-cloud approach. So it depends specifically on your business and having that insight in the consultation and making sure that you have the training to be able to execute on the on whatever, whichever one you choose, or choosing all the models. So it's that's very selective on your business itself, but making sure that you do have a cloud model in place and not dependent on everyone who shows up and there. We humans, we get tired, we have these things happen or whatever the case may be. So you need something that's 24/7, 365, that's helping to run your automation and get things done for you. Your next question.
Next question. Why is AI essential for staying competitive?
Oh, because the the constant growing threats, for instance, competitiveness. There are different malwares, different AI. Well, the threats are um, a lot of our threats now are made by AI, not humans sitting there typing in codes trying to build. And so you have to match your attacker with the same type of weaponry that they are using or have something better, something in place. You have these large entities, I call them, the Microsoft, Google, AWS, who have built these tools for you, and to have that in place to be able to meet the AI threats. Now, from a business perspective, you put two companies together. One company is not using the cloud infrastructure and they're using the human capital to try to do 24-hour operations to watch this and to make sure and execute this and have this go and that and the payment that goes through there. The AI can take over that, do that heavy lifting for you, keep you competitive because you are able to just add into there, you're able to fine tune your models and you're able to see what and a pattern, what's working and what's not, to be able to remain competitive and to also be leapfrog some of your competitors because of what you're utilizing and what you're able to add into your workflow and to your organization to make your business run much better than theirs. It is a competitive thing and you have this tool to use it. Next question.
And the final question of the day is, how do major cloud providers use AI for security?
Um, Artificial intelligence, machine learning. So what what you learned yesterday, I was listening to a couple of CEOs. Actually, I didn't listen to them. I saw their quote. Um, what you accomplish, if you're still living off what you accomplished last year or what you accomplished last month, your business is doomed. Things continue. There's companies that are always innovating. There's always competition for you. So the artificial intelligence is this is not this new thing and this new fad. This is the thing, the foundation to utilize and to make sure that we have. So the big cloud providers have the resources that smaller companies don't to continue to continue building, improving, and putting things into place so that those who use their services can thrive. There's going to be a big shift, and you will see the companies that are using this and they're functioning and they're continuously here. A lot of companies that are not are going to fall by the wayside, or they're going to be consumed by the companies that are using these tools, that the big cloud providers are using artificial intelligence to make business solutions much better. And so how the big cloud providers are moving is it's more and more AI. AI is already in there. It's the foundation that's there, but it's being implemented and integrated more and more. How can we use AI for this and that to cover all bases and to make sure that the products we provide are this is the foundational structure of business now. This is how business runs. It's not the pen and paper. It's not you on the spreadsheet anymore. This is how you do business. And they have set the standard. So the big cloud providers set the standard by integrating artificial intelligence into the platform, and that is how they are moving and solidifying their place in history and to now. All right. Well, I thank you, and I thank you for the questions, and I hope that everything that you learned from this webinar that you take it back to your organization and that you utilize this. I do not want to see anyone fall by the wayside. I'm hopeful for everyone to thrive and to utilize this and to make sure that you get the training. This is not something that you just get and try to wing it. You need to know how all of this works. There are too many tools, too many things that are involved not to be in the know. You have to be in the know and you have to add this to your service and make sure that you receive the training. I thank you again from the bottom of my heart for joining this webinar, and I look forward to listening to many more webinars as I passionately will give you the information that I know that you need. Thank you so much for joining.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.